Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea, sit back, and let's chat about what is happening up in the stars in the sky for this beautiful day. I can't even believe it. It's November 21st. We are sitting at the last day that the sun will be in Scorpio. Tomorrow it makes a move into Sagittarius and the energy changes. And today we actually have a really, really good day on tap. And as you can see, I'm wearing headsets today because, God bless him, Bob the Builder, the one that lives behind me, has decided he needs to build something in the middle of the winter or the fall, whatever. And so he has a group of people out there with chainsaws and whatever building something. And literally, they just started right at 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, you guys. And he knows that I am at home and that I work at home and that I'm also a broadcaster. And yet he still insists on making tons of noise. So these are noise canceling headphones. So hopefully I don't get distracted by hearing the sawing and you all hopefully don't hear it. So how is everybody this morning? How did the first day of Mercury direct treat you? Did you feel a shift? Did something happen that opened up for you? It was actually an extraordinary day for me, and I want to share, I'm so excited to share some information with you that through an experience I had last evening about, well, my time for late afternoon, early evening, when I attended a masterclass by Michael Beckwith and through Mind Valley. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of Mind Valley, but they're a group of people that put together workshops and webinars and things like that. So they host the platform. So he is being interviewed by one of the people from Mind Valley. And I really want to share this information with you because I was like, right? It was like life-changing in the moment. There were some really good questions asked. And it was all about the name of it was called True Manifesting from the Soul. And you get this little workbook that goes with it that you can print. And there's Michael, who used to have dreadlocks, long hair. It was awesome hair. And now he's bald, but he still looks sexy to me. And he still has that smooth voice, and he still speaks from the heart of spirit. It's really wonderful. If you've never heard Michael Bernard Beckwith speak, go on YouTube, do a search for Michael Beckwith or Michael Bernard Beckwith, and yeah. Awesome. So let's say good morning to people before I jump in here. I see Londa and Amy this morning. Good morning, Marjorie, Debbie Hedden, Allison, good morning. And Tracy and Marjorie says good morning from Virginia. Allison, good morning to you as well. And Debbie, same to you. Happy to have you ladies with us this morning. So here we are today with the moon in Virgo, ending its transit late in the day today and preparing for a move into the sign of Libra. So where we've had this energy of work and practical application of the steps that we need to do to get somewhere. Tomorrow we will be in the sign of Libra, where the energy is focused on relationships, love, and heart-centeredness, as well as balance and harmony. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but that means our moon is going to be in void, of course, but lucky for us, it's going to be a very short one. And for me here on the West Coast, or all of us on the West Coast, it will begin at 7:31 p.m. this evening and be over at 8:20 p.m., literally not even a full hour. And then the moon will be into the sign of Libra. So for you all on the East Coast, that's 10:31 p.m. to 11:20 p.m. It'll be a blip on our screen, right? That we go into our evenings with the moon in void. We don't have to make any special plans or take any special precautions because it's very short, and lucky for us, it comes at the end of the day. Now, if you're in a part of the world where it is daytime at these hours, so U.S. time, West Coast time, 7:31 p.m. to 8:20 p.m., that might be daylight for some of you starting your days maybe in Australia and New Zealand, so, or even Asia. So if that's the case, then you have a momentary blip on your screen, an hour-long void of course, where maybe things don't go as planned. So maybe just kind of whatever time that is in your day, just understand if things are going slow or if things are getting off to a sluggish start, that would be why, because of the void. and that soon will pass. So today's contacts that the moon is making will be with Pluto, Venus, Jupiter, and the Sun. The trine to Pluto we sort of predicted yesterday as the last aspect that we had in the day yesterday was a trine to Saturn. And Saturn and Pluto so close together now you can just predict that right after anything happens to Saturn, the same thing will be happening to the planet Pluto. So we're getting a little bit more energy around taking steps toward whatever it is we're regenerating. And now that Mercury is moving forward, we have more opportunities to see what direction we can go and how it is that we want to do that. And maybe even getting an all clear sign, but there may still be some wonkiness between now and December 9th as Mercury is still in the shadow, the retro shade, as our listener Suzanne often calls it. And that retro shade period of time may make this moon in Virgo, where we want to take steps and we want to do something, a little bit slower, just because it's more deliberate energy as Mercury still hasn't gained the speed yet. And it takes time. It'll take time to gain speed, and we'll start to see it move quicker through the sign of Scorpio and into the sign of Sagittarius. So then let's deal with the square from the moon to Venus and to Jupiter, the two benefics, right? We talked about this yesterday and the day before. I think we've been talking about it all week, actually, as Venus and Jupiter were coming together in a conjunction, actually exact on Sunday, but they're getting ever closer to one another. They're crossing over the face of the galactic center, asking us to think bigger, to engage in a bigger way, to engage with truth, to live by our values, to reevaluate the values that you're living by, and to, kind of reorganize your life. Well, when we have the squares, they're a little more challenging. And moon in Virgo, remember, is deliberate, it's very discerning, it's analytical, it's critically thinking, and it is seeing the details. It has more trouble, though, seeing the bigger picture. So Jupiter is the planet that takes us to the bigger picture, but we may have a little bit of issue today with that square, trying to see the bigger picture. The net energy of Venus and Jupiter squaring the moon will be a little bit of overkill, a little bit of overdoing, a little bit of over-focusing. And maybe we're over-focused on the details and we need to step back, or maybe we're over-focused on the big picture and we haven't even come up with a plan yet on how to execute it. Thus the need for a plan to be able to see the details, but to also be able to see the wider picture, the wider screen. So in the grand scheme of things, what is your plan? And now, according to the plan, what are the steps that you are going to use to get there? Remember, we're still in Earth flow. We're still in an Earth sign with the moon, and we have a lot of Earth energy. This morning when I was looking at it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points in Earth. And there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in water. So Earth and water dominate, but by far and away, Earth is the more powerful energy here. So Earth energy is practical and organized, and everything that we think of as down to earth, right? Being feet on the ground, having a practical approach, having a plan, are all still very important throughout the day today. That'll change a little bit tomorrow as we build relationships and work on that part of our transit of the moon. But right now, it's all about the getting down to work, rolling up the sleeves, digging in, and doing something of importance. All right, I'm going to switch back over here, see who's joined us. Good morning, Tracy and Marjorie and Colleen Jackson, good morning. Linda Crouch-Dennis, good morning. Dusa, great to see you. She says, yes, I followed a couple of master classes with Mind Valley too. They really do have some good qualities. They have some good quality programs on their channel. Marissa, good morning. Linda Marie, good morning. Greetings. She says, love your show. My son is in Virgo. What does this moon in Virgo mean for me? Things are coming together for you, Linda. Where's your moon? That would be another important question. For example, Mimi, one of our listeners, and me, we both have our moons in Virgo. So when the moon is transiting through Virgo, it triggers our moons. And so we open up to a new moon sort of cycle in our own energy. for you, the moon coming across your sun has sort of the same effect of creating a new pathway, a new energetic inroad, if you will, to getting where you need to go for doing something. Maybe it's completing something, or perhaps it's starting something, but it could also be about setting up a plan. As the sun in Virgo, you're already, tuned in to that kind of critical thinking and that analyzing, and also, health protocols. Health is also a part of Virgo. And we talked a lot yesterday about alternative healing and how Virgo energy likely has a real affinity with the planet Chiron in helping us heal the wound, both physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual in this incarnation. So I hope that helps get you some ideas about what may be going on. Elisa, good morning to you. And her moon is in Taurus, so very earth energy, right? You have a lot of earthy energy. So I bet you really appreciate it when the planets are in earth and they're sort of demanding that you take steps, that you have that plan and that you do things in an organized way. Maybe you feel, you guys will laugh. Yesterday, I swear I got hit by the spring cleaning bug. And I was like, I was looking at my sinks going, oh my Lord, where did all this grime come from? I was looking at my windowsills going, oh my gosh, from the summer, having the windows open, all that, dust and stuff that accumulated. I'm like, I got to clean this. So I totally did a Virgo moon sort of cleaning in my kitchen yesterday. And it felt really good to do that. So maybe there's that kind of cleaning and organizing ability that we have. And for you, Linda, someone with a lot of earth energy, I can just tell from, what you're saying there, really appreciates that, being able to roll up your sleeves and get down to business with something. Londa, good morning. She's here till 8:30. Oh, that's right. She's going to be meeting with our friend Janet in New York. I can't wait. Oh, please, please, please send us the link to the talk. And I'm not sure if you're on with her live or if you're recording, but we would love to hear what you and Janet in New York have to talk about. And I would love to share that with the listeners, but also with my mailing list. So send that to me, Londa. So to have a plan, yes, indeed. Do so. My ascendant is in Virgo. Woohoo! Linda, okay. Oops. I don't know my earth energies. I need a masterclass from you. Yeah, I'm just going to go. Because you're still here, Londa, until 8:30, I want to transition into sharing what I learned yesterday from this masterclass. And I would still, even though I'm going to share what the class was about, there's no way that I can match the quality with which Michael Beckwith delivered this material. So I still encourage you to go looking for True Manifesting from the Soul. It's a masterclass that's free, but of course they want you to purchase their masterclass, the full class. But I just want to share some of the things that he was talking about. For one thing, there's this idea of what manifesting is, and do we really have the right idea of it? So he makes the point about true manifesting versus manifesting. And then he goes into wanting versus immature wanting. So he was setting the stage for what this masterclass was going to be about. Here's a quote from Dr. Beckwith. Do not blindly go into intention. Rather, let inspiration lead to your intention. Mind blown. Right? When he said that, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then the third major point was about surrendering. So true abundance, or true manifesting versus manifesting, wanting versus immature wanting, and then this concept of surrendering. And when all of these things come together in the appropriate way, an internal shift happens within you. And in that internal shift, then more things can happen, right? True manifesting happens. So what does he mean? There are 4 stages of spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment in your life. And I dare say that we are, as human beings, so many of us still in this lower level stage of victim consciousness, the very first level, the first stage of spiritual growth, victim consciousness, where something outside of ourselves, or we view something outside of us as doing something to us. So it creates a big blame story. It puts us in a place of attention on what we don't have versus what we do have. And the pursuit then of getting something creates resistance. And then we have trouble getting what it is we want, because what we're really focused on is what we don't want or what we don't have. And it's sort of a upside down way of thinking, but if you're focused on what you don't have, you get more of not having that. Where if you focus on everything that you have and are in gratitude for everything that you have, then it attracts more. And I think we know that, but we've been on this planet in a conditioning field that has sort of slanted us toward victim consciousness. Now, what's the second stage? The second stage, he says, is manifester consciousness. And this is where we learn about spiritual ideals like manifesting, affirmation, setting of intentions. We're actually learning how to manifest. And he makes the point that manifesting laws or mastering these laws of attraction or these laws of manifesting does not equal your soul emerging. And then he asked a question, and I sat with this question all of the rest of the evening. I sat with this question all through the night. I went to bed with it, purposefully putting this question into my mind, and I still have not gotten an answer, but here's the question, and I want you all to write this down. What is trying to emerge from me? He makes the point that all of these signs that you're of things that you're trying to manifest, of the victim consciousness even, is pointing you to something that's trying to emerge from you, your true soul, right? And that your true soul emerging doesn't have anything to do with mastering those laws of attraction or in victim consciousness. So what is trying to emerge from you, or what is trying to emerge from me? And later today, what I'm going to do is write that on a page, because I didn't get any answers that I know of from going to bed last night with that question in my head. But I'm thinking that as I go into meditation a little bit later today, I may be able to come up with that. But the next step here is called channel consciousness. This is where we let go, where we allow that. We are, so remember earlier this week we talked about the galactic center being the source of all of the information and opportunities coming into the planet. Well, he calls this localizing a cosmic activity through me. So channel consciousness is when you localize a cosmic activity where your soul came here with a specific purpose, with a specific something that it wanted to do, something that it wanted to be, something it wanted to learn, and you are having to be in a process of allowing that to emerge through you, not go out and seek it, surrendering to something within you that wants to emerge. And he said that this is all a process of reclaiming surrender, reclaiming allowing. And I'm going to give you, because somewhere on this page I wrote up a definition of surrender. And da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum, la-da-da-da, luck is living in, okay, I don't know where I wrote it, but if I find it, I will read it to you. So channel consciousness then is the third stage, and there's very few people really in this stage at full blast, right? Sometimes they're moving backwards to the second level. Sometimes we slide backwards all the way to the first level. He also pointed out there are 8, what did he call them? 8 levels of consciousness, or 8 areas of your life where 8 life structures. And those structures are things like ego, mental, spiritual, livelihood, relationship, physical, financial, and community. And you may be at different stages in those different levels of your life, because maybe it comes easy to you to be physically fit and to be healthy, but maybe you suck at finances, right? Or maybe you have really bad relationships, but you're really good at everything else. So it could be that you are at varying levels or stages in consciousness of emerging the truth of who you are. Now, the fourth level is being consciousness. being consciousness. We are seeing ourselves at this point as an emanation of God. That separation totally dissolves. You, God, source, everything on the planet, everything in the solar system are one. So amazing to me, that idea of being consciousness. It's amazing, just amazing. Now, he also says there are these other things that are, we talked about them in the beginning, those three things: true manifesting versus manifesting. And first of all, you have to realize we are always manifesting. We're always manifesting, right? Because we're always thinking, there's always something appearing in our world, whether it's something small like a telephone call from someone, or something big, you know, with the winner of some kind of award. But the point is, we are always manifesting something. So we have to know the difference between true manifesting and manifesting. Now, regular manifesting is about a mindset and what he calls an acquisitive appetite. Acquisitive, not inquisitive, acquisitive, where what we are trying to manifest are things, right? A new car, more money, a great job, a loving relationship. That's what he calls an acquisitive mindset, and or an acquisitive appetite, or I think you could also call that an acquisitive mindset, where we're into getting something. We're into wanting something and getting something. But true manifesting is a shift that occurs at the soul level, and it is birthing a desire to be more yourself, to be more of yourself. So true manifesting is when you're inviting your soul to emerge and state its truth out there in the world, and to be, in the words of the army, be all that you can be, right? That's true manifesting. It's not about acquiring things. It's about emerging the true you, birthing the true you, and it leads to bliss. And then he gave us a definition for bliss as an activation of the potential within us. So when you activate your potential within, it leads you to bliss. And now let's deal with wanting versus immature wanting. Wanting versus immature wanting. Immature wanting are when there's things like fads or the toys or the things in the world that you want, right? There's this new iPhone and all of the advertising. I still have my iPhone 6S Plus here. Oh, look at that screen. That's nasty. Probably should clean it. But now there's an iPhone 11. And all of the commercials are about the super camera that comes on the iPhone 11. And I find myself wanting the iPhone 11. But is that something that's really true for me? Right? It could be the fad, the thing, the toy that is in the immature wanting. True wanting is an extension of the expression of our souls. And it comes from the depth of your being. And I can sense the difference there. I can't articulate it. I mean, I think those words say it pretty well. The extension of the expression of our souls, and it comes from the depth of your being versus the things that we might want in our lives. Pretty cool. Here's another question for you that you might want to write down. What would my life look like if I went from immature wanting to wanting? What would my life look like if I went from immature wanting to wanting? That's a great question too. So what is trying to emerge from me? And what would my life look like if I went from immature wanting to wanting? And then he talks about the power of surrender. And surrender, we think of surrender as not giving up. I mean, we think of surrender, if we think of the word surrender, we think of giving up or of letting go, but it's really not about giving up. It's not about letting go. It's more about non-attachment, playfully, but playfully engaged in wanting something, but not attached to the outcome, how it comes, when it comes, who's the deliverer of it, etc. And surrendering to your destiny is what we're talking about here. Surrendering to what it is that your soul knows, that your ego keeps shading from you in some way. It's about the will to life. He uses that term quite frequently, the will to life, where life will out, right? Life and being willing, willingness, the being willing to let the soul's inner desire, wanting emerge from you. And he said, luck is living under cosmic knowledge, and he calls it the glad surprise, right? When things living like this, surrendering becomes a sort of mystical and magical luck sort of feel to your life as everything comes in the right time, all of the circumstances align that get you where you want to go without you scrimping and scraping and, you know, pushing and, you know, all of the exertion that we put into trying to get what we want, right? Just allowing it to emerge, surrendering to your destiny. He also talks about gratitude. So these steps to getting what you want, to visioning what you want. One, definitely gratitude. Number one thing, gratitude. The second one is something he calls spiritual shape-shifting. Write that term down, spiritual shape-shifting. It's when we focus on what is working, and I'm going to give you an example, the example he gave us last night. So it's when we focus on what is working and we shift that feeling of what it's like from what's working to what is to the part of us that isn't working. And in essence, he says you're taking your power back. So you're in gratitude and focused on what is working, and you just slowly shift that over to the thing that you feel isn't working. And he gave us a really great example. The host, whose name is like Vishen, I don't know, can't remember his name. He had, first of all, he goes, can this apply to our health? And Dr. Beckwith, of course, says, yes, of course it can. And he said, well, my damn left knee keeps hurting. And the first thing that he said to him was, look at the words you used to talk about your knee. What words did you use? My damn left knee. So by your very words, you're already validating that there's a problem with that knee. You're validating a problem in the health, not validating the health of the other knee in this case, right? He asked him about his right knee. His right knee felt perfect. His right knee was fine. And so he had him focus his energy and gratitude and love on that right knee and how good it feels. When he moves, that knee doesn't hurt. When he moves, he has freedom of motion in that knee. And once he built up the energy around how that felt, he had him just shift that focus over to the left knee. And then that shape shifting had a sort of miraculous result in that the pain in this man's left knee was no more. He took his power back. It's funny, last night I'm lying in bed and I'm telling my husband, how does your left, because he always has knee problems, but it's his right knee. And I said, I took him through this exercise and I'm hoping he's going to remember it and shift it throughout the day, because it's when he's working on the knee, you know, all day that happens to him. And isn't it interesting to know that we can shape shift our focus from the parts of our body that feel good and are working in, you know, health, and shift that health over to the part of the body that's in pain. And it could be a miraculous cure, right? Taking your power back. Then he takes you through a wonderful life visioning meditation. And it was fabulous. It really was. And I wish I could find that meditation and be able to share that. But you can get that by going to True Manifesting from the Soul and join the Masterclass, which is free. And trust me when I say I don't get anything out of this, except, you know, I'm excited by this and I want to share this to you. And if you join the class, great. The master class is free. Like I said, the other part has a fee, and I want to say it was like $249 if you joined from the class that you were in, the master class. And it all begins on December 2nd, which I thought was interesting because that's the day that Jupiter will move out of Sag and into Capricorn. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because for me it was like whew, explosions of awesomeness. And now I really want to work on that. And it's a really wonderful day for that to emerge into our consciousness. I just want to take a look really quick. Linda, yes, I can send. I can't send the link. I'll post the link, and then you guys can find it on Living Astrology's Facebook page and follow that link. You'll have to sign up to and choose a time and a date for the masterclass. Londa, love that localizing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me give you that phrase again. It was, of course, I have so much going on in this book of mine. Oh, Lord. I'll find it. It was localizing cosmic consciousness, I believe. And you guys don't understand. I write so much all the time and take classes and, you know, make notes and things I hear, things I want to talk about, classes I want to do. And then since I closed the book, I don't know where I put all of that writing that I just read from you. That's not it. No. So, Londa, I'll post that for you later because otherwise I'll sit here forever trying to find this. Ah, I found it. Here we go. Localizing. Well, localizing a cosmic activity through you. That's what it was. So you're bringing in information from source and it gets localized within you, meaning it triggers whatever it is in you, that your part that needs to emerge. So localizing a cosmic activity through you. And I just closed it again, so hopefully no one else has any other questions. Amy, that's beautiful. Channel consciousness. Yep, Amy says, my best friend Julianne Michelle returned my call after the show. Oh, you're talking to someone else. April, good morning. And Linda says, I'm going to shift the left kidney that doesn't hurt to the right kidney, right? So you focus all of your attention and gratitude and love on the kidney that feels wonderful, that's working beautifully. And then after you have that as big as you can make it, you're going to shift, you're going to shape shift that healing energy, that healthy energy over to the other kidney and watch miracles take place in your body. Gotta love that. All right, guys, I have one last thing for you this morning, and it is the Pleiadian-Earth energy, and this is the part today that makes the day so absolutely wonderful. Today is 8, transcending. Now, transcending in the Mayan calendar was Kimi, C-I-M-I. That represented death. So you're asking, Janet, why is death so wonderful? Well, let's talk about what the energy of this day, what more is possible today with this energy of transcending and the energy of 8. The energy of 8 is about connection, abundance, and love. Love energy dominates the universe today. So it's not just here on this planet, but it is everywhere. Love is the energy that unconditionally connects all of us. And the symbol of the 8 is an infinity symbol, right? And it shows how the mirror images of one another are connected at the heart. So I drew the symbol for you. Right? So there were reflections of one that actually looks like a face. So here's the 8, the infinity symbol on its side. Here's you, here's me, and we're connected in the heart right here, right? So we're connected and we're reflections of one another. There's no need to compete when we see this. We are cooperating. We may feel more abundant and richer today. We are able to recognize ourselves in others today. We are all one. Transcending energy is going beyond the restrictive aspects of our challenges and our differences. That's a direct quote from the Pleiadian-Earth Energy Astrology book by Pia Orlean and Colin Baird Smith. And We're going beyond the restrictive aspects of our challenges and differences through many inner deaths, releasing old patterns and beliefs that are no longer supported. Isn't it? I'm back. I'm so sorry. I got so excited about what was happening here in the transcending and the connection of abundance and love and all of that, that I accidentally disconnected my whole internet system. The cords are not far here under my desk, and the edge of my foot caught it, and I pulled, and I disconnected myself. I apologize. Hopefully everybody is back. And yeah, this is what happens after Mercury turns direct, because I have Mercury retrograde in my chart. So often the retrograde time itself is not so bad for me. It's the time before the retrograde and the time directly afterwards. So there, I did it. I disconnected myself. Thank you very much. And then I had to get on the floor and rearrange the cords, and then I came back. So here I am. Yeah, reminder that we are still in the shadow, Amy. Absolutely. So let me go back and talk about the Pleiadian-Earth energy of the day. So the 8 energy is the universal energy of the day, and it's the one about connection, abundance, and love. And I'm going to show the graphic again. I know I did this in sort of a green highlighter pen because I was showing my husband, and he just didn't get it. He did not get my excitement around this. He was just looking at me with this blank look on his face. Husband. But hopefully you all understand why I'm so excited about this energy. Because if we look at the number 8, and we see that if we lay it on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol, right? So it's the infinity symbol where there is you and there is me, and we see that we are reflections of one another, connected at the heart, right? Connected right in the center, which to me I take to be the heart. So we are connected by heart. All of us are interconnected. Like I could literally do, let's see if I could do this because I'm really not a good artist, but let's see if I can draw another 8. And we could see that, you know, we could connect to other people as well. We could put an infinite number of infinity symbols around this and see that we are all interconnected. So I love that energy. And love is the energy that unconditionally connects all of us. So universally, no matter where you were in this universe, we would be resonant with that energy today. And we may feel today like we have a lot of gifts, a lot of things to be grateful for. And I would just say, you know, put yourself in a position of having an abundant shower, just a shower of abundance, of love, of everything, you know, energy to emerge your true self coming in today, because it is a day that really reflects how we're interconnected and how love plays a big role on the planet. Recognize yourself in others. Even those people, the more difficult ones, are going to be the people that you don't resonate with, or the ones that you really don't like. They're the ones that you're going to have the hardest time seeing your reflection in. But I would say, you know, just apply love energy to that and see what you're able to, how you're able maybe to shift that relationship in some way. Now, the earth energy of the day then is transcending energy. And here's where I think I was saying this quote when I disconnected myself. Going beyond the restrictive aspects of our challenges and differences. So we're looking beyond those limited little things that we see as what separates us. And we're moving through the energy of death here. And it's not a literal death, it's the inner deaths that release old patterns, old beliefs, and that are no longer supported in a new paradigm. Right? And the reason we have trouble doing this is because it's so old and it's so encrusted within us. And all we really need to do is shift that energy. Because the truth is that we are one, right? We are one. In this particular energy of transcending, which is the 6th sign, the 6th earth sign. So you're going to hear me repeat something that we found out on the day of the 6th universal energy, and that this energy builds a bridge between the realm of spirit and the realm of the physical. So it's almost like there's this ability to bring the two together, right? Um, and also we can sense how the circle of life and death and endings and beginnings are all part of a bigger process going on the planet, in the universe, always, right? Matter being destroyed, it's never destroyed, it's just transformed, right? That's one of the first laws of thermodynamics or something like that, right? Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So here we have a day of transforming. We have a day of re-emerging, emerging energy. I love that. Of love energy, of seeing how we are all interconnected at the center point, which is the heart. And in that, then, what could we create? What could we create in our world? What could we create in our personal lives? And that is where I am truly going to leave you for the day. So I apologize for the blip, and I know I lost some of you, and I apologize for that. But now that just makes more work for me because now I have to produce the two videos together into one. That should be fun. All right, everybody. So I'm so thankful for all of you that come every morning to chat with me or to listen to me chat with you. I wish I could hear your voices. That would just make this beautiful too. I will be here again tomorrow morning. I can't believe it, but it's already going to be Friday, which means we'll be doing some readings. We'll take a look ahead at the weekend and what kind of energies we can expect for the weekend. And I haven't even looked ahead yet, so I couldn't even tell you. I can't even predict. It likely will be a Libra, Scorpio sort of weekend. Libra, Scorpio, and maybe a little bit of Sagittarius, which means maybe there's some depth of things that we might be dealing with. Don't forget your questions, the questions that I gave you. What is emerging in you, or what in you wants to emerge? And the other question was, I'll write those questions because now I closed my book again, so I don't know where all that information was written, but I will put those questions out for you, so for contemplation. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.